everyone, welcome back to Legacy Larder. I'm Andy, and today we're going to make banana bread. Now there are about as many banana bread recipes as there are bananas, so we picked one from probably around 100 years ago. It's got sour cream in it, and it's very simple. It looks from the recipe like it should be delicious. Let's give it a shot and see what it turns out like.
Okay, well, the key to any good banana bread recipe is the bananas, of course. Now, these bananas may look like they were salvaged from, let's see, the Iceman's backpack, the frozen mummified remains of banana, but they're actually just bananas that were starting to get a little bit too spotty for my liking. I chucked them in the freezer, and then when it's time to make banana bread, you've got bananas that are ready to go. Now, the nice thing about having these at the ready and frozen, once you pull them out, you chuck them in the microwave for a couple of minutes, and then you are pretty much ready to go with a pre-mashed banana. So just rip the end a bit, squish it out of there like banana toothpaste, and ta-da, you've got banana. So we'll get our next one going here. Show you the ooey banana-y goodness. These last for a really long time in the freezer. I've used bananas that I've frozen months and months ago, and they still taste fine, and the bread still comes out fine. So they look a little bit weird, but as far as the flavor goes, it's just a banana. So I'm gonna get rid of this, and we'll start measuring out our other ingredients. We need to have 1.5 cups of banana, so I'm going to get that measured first since we've got it here on the plate and ready to go. And I'm not going to worry too much about smushing it with a fork. If you're using fresh bananas, that's usually the thing you have to do. I'm just going to fill up my measuring cups with these, and I need 1.5 cups of bananas. We're going to make two loaves of banana bread, so if you want half this recipe, we use half the ingredients. So here's our first 1/2 cup, and here is, I need more banana. Alright gang, we are now ready with our mashed bananas. Let's start getting some of our other ingredients in the bowl and mixing them up. So the first thing we want to do, I've got 6 tablespoons of shortening, so single batch recipe would be 3. And vegetable shortening, I'm going to put that in our bowl. And into that shortening, we're going to cream in sugar. This is 2 cups of sugar. Just regular old white sugar into the bowl. And let's get that creamed up. Some of you are probably asking yourselves, hey now, hold on there, hotshot. You said in a previous video that when you cream stuff, you're looking for a lighter color. So what happens when you have a white thing creamed with another white thing? Well, in that case, what I am looking for is full incorporation. So now I've got beach sand-like texture with my shortening and sugar. There aren't any chunks of shortening. There aren't any chunks of sugar. Everything is really well mixed. It's like wet sand. That's what we're looking for with cream when you're using 2 very white ingredients. So just follow that fully mixed together method and you'll be just fine. Now we have our sugar and our shortening mixed together. We're going to add into this 2 eggs. Egg number 1. I'll give that a bit of a mix in. Egg number 2. And another mix in. Note the color change as I'm mixing this. The yolks, everything was kind of dark yellow when I first put them in there. Now things are lightening up, so you're getting more creaming action. Now that we have some color, we can see that there's a bit more creaming going on as you're mixing this together. Okay, that is good. Now we're going to add in our sour cream. Here I've got 1 cup of sour cream, just regular old full fat sour cream. My assumption on a lot of these recipes is that these were concocted back in the days before low fat, fat free. I mean, obviously, because we're putting vegetable shortening into these. There are other recipes we'll get to that have lard. You don't see a whole lot of that nowadays. So when I'm making any of these recipes, I'm just going to use the regular full fat stuff. It's not like anybody's going to live off of cookies and banana breads and that sort of thing. So eat responsibly and use good ingredients when you put your stuff together. Let's mix in the sour cream. Beautiful. Now we are going to add the dry ingredients. I've got 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 4 teaspoons of baking powder. That's our leavening agents there. And 1 teaspoon of salt. So let's pop these in and incorporate them, and we'll move on to the flour. Recipe calls for our double batch, our double loaf recipe, 4 cups of flour. So I'm going to do 2 at a time. There's our first 2 cups. And with our first 2 cups in, now let's get our banana in. So I can't remember if I mentioned before, but I was a little bit short on those 3 bananas that I had taken out of the deep freeze. So we've got our 1.5 cups of bananas. Had to add 1 more banana to that, so this ended up using 4 bananas to get 1.5 cups. There are bananas of many different sizes, so just use whatever it takes to get yourself to 1.5 cups if you're making the double loaf. All right, let's mix in the bananas, and then we'll put in the rest of our flour and the surprise ingredients. Now you can see why I didn't bother mashing the bananas. When they're frozen, they're so liquidy, they're barely held together anyway. So when you use your mixer and beat them up, they're just going to disintegrate in there and incorporate nicely into your batter. So that's why I didn't bother spending the time smashing them. Here are our final 2 cups of flour. We'll add that in. This is quite a bit thicker than the banana bread recipes I've used before. This is kind of cool. I like that it's different. Now, surprise ingredient, lemon juice. 2 tablespoons of, I happen to have a lemon around, so I've got fresh squeezed lemon juice here. 2 tablespoons of that. And that's our final ingredient for the batter. So I'll get this mixed all together. I'll get this all mixed together really well and fully incorporated. And then we will get our pans ready and get this in the oven. Little pro tip for you, when you're making something that's a really liquidy batter like this, use a bowl that's too big, because then it's easier to clean off your beaters. What I do is, if I was just mixing and I pulled this out, my beater, half of a loaf of bread is stuck to my beaters. So if you hold it just above where the batter is and turn it up on high, the centripetal force will clean your beaters mostly for you. So a lot easier to clean, less wasted, delicious product, and you save yourself some work at the sink later on. So let's get our pans ready and get these babies in the oven. I have before you 2 buttered bread pans, just regular old bread pans, and I've put together a bit of white sugar and Ceylon cinnamon. So we're going to take this cinnamon sugar and put a bit in the bottom of each of our pans. Now, being truthful here, the cinnamon sugar is not part of the banana bread recipe that I have, but cinnamon sugar crust on banana bread is delicious. And after I tried it the first time, I am pretty much hooked. So now whenever I make banana bread, doesn't matter what the recipe is, I like to put butter and cinnamon sugar in the pan before I make it. It's not like this is diet food anyway. It's meant to be tasty, and that cinnamon sugar really adds another nice element to already a good banana bread. Well, which I'm hoping this one is. So, to get the sugar stuck to the butter, you just kind of wiggle it around like this, being careful not to dump it on the floor. There you go, and any excess, I'll just dump back in my bowl, because I don't, well, actually in the other pan first. And then you've got a good coating of cinnamon sugar, and the excess you can save. Make some French toast, put it on that. You know, dip a banana in it, whatever you'd like to do. Cinnamon sugar is just kind of a good thing to have around, just in case you have a cinnamon sugar emergency. Okay, there's our second pan, cinnamon sugared. I'm just going to dump off the excess here. All right, there we go. Now let's take our batter and load up these pans. I'm gonna try to go about half and half. This looks amazing. It smells delicious. It's fluffy. I guess because of the baking soda and baking powder, so that's pretty cool. And it's, like I said before, it's a little bit thicker than other banana bread recipes that I've made, so that's a cool difference. Got our second pan over here. Try to make them as even and equal as you can. So you have two perfectly sized loaves. Or at least, I mean, the same size loaves. I don't know what the perfect size loaf is. All right, there we go. Two pretty much the same size banana bread loaves of this nice frothy banana bread batter. Now let's pop it in the oven. We're going to cook these in a 375-degree oven for 45 to 50 minutes. Let's go. All right, everybody, it's been 50 minutes. Let's pull these beautiful little breads out of the oven and see how they look. Oh, yeah. Nice and brown, pretty little cracks on top. Oh boy, I can't wait to get into these things. I think we might have a winning banana bread recipe here. These look great. Okay, I can't take it anymore. We've got to cut into one of these things. They're a little bit cooler, but they're not all the way cooled yet. I don't care. Oh, we have to try it because they smell too good. Okay, I'm gonna take a slice off here. If you make banana bread with nuts inside, you'll definitely want to wait until it's cool, because if you don't, you're gonna just smash through your banana bread, even though you try to be careful. It's just an unfortunate thing that's going to happen. The nuts are going to squish in the soft bread, especially when it's right out of the oven. Oh my gosh, gang! All right, this smells really, really good. It looks like a great banana bread. All right, let's move it on over and see what we got. I should probably butter this banana bread to give it a try, because that's how you would normally have banana bread, with a bit of butter on it. But I don't want the butter to skew my assessment of how the banana bread tastes. So let's give it a try just straight out of the oven and see how we're doing. See how we did. That
cinnamon sugar crust is hard to beat. I highly recommend it. I think I went a little bit too long. Probably could have gone with the 45 instead of the 50, but man, this is good. I was hoping for a little bit more from the lemon. I think if we put lemon zest in with the lemon juice, might brighten it up a little bit more. As is, it's still really, really good. It's got a little bit of an extra brightness kick than just regular old banana bread. I love how fluffy it is. This is real. Usually the banana breads that I've made before have been pretty dense. They're really good, banana flavored and all, but very dense breads. This is light and fluffy. It's like a light pancake bread. Really, really tasty. All right, so the final word on this one is that it's a dandy little banana bread recipe. It's from probably around 100 years ago. Sour cream keeps it nice and moist. The leavening with the baking soda and baking powder gets it nice and fluffy. It makes a gorgeous looking loaf. So I highly recommend this one. Give it a shot. The banana is very mild in this one. It's not a crazy overpowering banana flavor. And maybe you want to give it a try with a little bit of lemon zest added to give it a little bit of an extra flavor element. So check it out. Tell me what you think. If you like this video, if you like the other videos, please give me a like on it and subscribe to the channel, so then when I put up new videos, you'll be sure to be notified right away and you can check them out and keep those good foods rocking through your kitchen as fast as I can keep them rocking through mine. Alright, this has been Legacy Larder. My name is Andy. Be good to each other, and I hope to see you all again soon.